Well, hello everyone, how are you doing this fine day? Hope you're enjoying your week. There has been a bit of a confusion as to what exactly these types of videos are. So, let me address that before we actually get into it. There were some complaints in the comments of the last Scaling Debater video that I released that was basically saying something along the lines of, why didn't you get experts on here? These people don't know what they're talking about, blah, 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 blah. And I explained it at the beginning of that video. I will explain it again here. These are not experts. I have videos on my channel where I bring on experts. I've done a video with the YouTube channel SCP-40K. I've done one with Buster McTunder. I do that. That is on the channel. This is not that. Every Saturday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, I have a stream. In this stream, anyone who wants to jump into the Discord call can and talk to me. We can just have a conversation or we can have a full-on debate. Up to you. I don't really care. The video you're watching now is just a cleaned up version of one of those debates. If you don't think that the people in these videos are arguing adequately for the thing that you love, it's a fucking open mic. You can come on the stream anytime you want yourself and you can debate me. And if you think you can do a better job, go right ahead. There is a Discord link in the pinned comment down below, as well as in the chat of every single stream I've ever done. I know it must be very difficult to stay on the sidelines and throw a bunch of complaints and insults at people who actually have the balls to get in the ring and try this shit, especially people who don't do it for a living like I do. So consider this a mass invitation to the entire internet. You think you can do better? Come at me, bitch. Just know that if you come in for a debate and afterwards you decide to stick around and hang out in the Discord, that's fine. But if you start bringing in all that scalar bullying bullshit where you start insulting people and shit because they don't agree that Goku is fucking 19th dimensional or whatever bullshit, I will kick your ass out so fast you'll get fucking whiplash. My Discord has over 1,000 members and it is chill as fuck, and I intend on keeping it that way. And if you enjoy the video, make sure to like, subscribe, comment, share, and join the membership. Remember, if you join the membership, you get videos early. But I'm wasting up your time. Let's get started.
All right, next up we're going to do Star Wars. And since one guy said that he was really big on the Star Wars, I'll let him go. You think Star Wars would dominate?
Yes, undoubtedly.
How so?
Well, it's quite simple. There is so much in Star Wars, just the grand scale of it all. Yes, they can simply just destroy planets with a single Star Destroyer. You just could just orbital bomb. You could just orbitally bomb it until it's done. And yeah, how many Star Destroyers does the Empire even have? Again, isn't it like 60,000?
Hang on, the question begs, what timeline are we going for? Like, we doing
Legends
the Clone Wars or like farther?
This is Empire.
Empire.
Well, I mean, if we wanted to take things, we could take like the Rakad Star Forge and say, oh, they could just infinitely produce ships that could just you know, completely orbitally bombard planets. Because they could like orbitally bombard planets back in the Old Republic.
Yeah, but they could do that. But Super Earth can do the exact same thing.
True.
You would have to come up with something that Super Earth can't also do. Originally you said that Warhammer 40K would dominate. Now you're saying that Star Wars would dominate. But everything you've named,
oh, no.
that's nothing.
Star Wars would literally just it would blow Warhammer out of the water.
Okay, but
What about,
I'm talking about how it's comparatively to Helldivers. Like, you would have to tell me why Star Wars would overcome. It's a Star Wars. It's a Helldivers tier list. So how would they overcome Helldivers? But everything you said, Helldivers is capable of doing. So
well,
where is it? Where are they better?
if we consider the First Order part of the Empire, which they technically are, they have a
No,
bunch of
that's
Star
the first.
Destroyers.
That's the First Order. We're talking about the Empire.
They were created by Palpatine.
Doesn't
They're
matter.
different.
Doesn't matter. They're not the Empire. We're talking about the
This
Empire.
is a time-specific thing. The First Order was created way after the Empire initially.
This is the Empire. This is Darth Vader. This is Palpatine. This is the Empire. Yeah.
So Mandalorians are known to have pretty big beef with the Jedi, which they realize that lasers aren't going to cut it because they're just going to reflect it with the lightsaber. So they went back to the good old strategies, which was bullets, and that pretty much was the way to go to kill Jedi.
Yeah, I mean, kinetic shots are kind of a death sentence for Star Wars in general. The Empire's armors does not shield against kinetic attacks. It only shields against heat-based attacks and energy
It
attacks.
actually cracks under.
See, I've heard that the Stormtrooper armor is actually pretty good at defending against kinetic weapons.
Not
Didn't it,
comparatively.
So there is actually some lore. God, this is old, so it's probably been retconned because it's from the 90s. But Stormtrooper armor, technically, he is the equivalent of hardened plastic. Like, if you were to punch a guy hard enough, you'd crack his helmet wide open, and
Yeah,
the only thing holding it together would be
And then I do remember in one of the movies, I don't know which one, they like snap a helmet in half. I think it was the one of the newer ones actually.
Yeah.
It was like a first order helmet. They like smashed that shit in half.
Yeah, they're meant for heat dispersion because kinetic weapons don't exist in the Star Wars universe anymore. So when you shoot a energy-based,
Too expensive.
yeah, when
Well,
you
they
shoot,
do exist. They're just
when you
not used.
when you shoot an in war, when you shoot an energy-based weapon, it disperses the heat across it and it can take the blast. Although arguably the movies and comics and stuff don't really show it dispersing ever. Usually when you shoot a fucking stormtrooper, they die even with the energy shit. But supposedly it's supposed to disperse heat. But an actual kinetic attack just goes right there. It's super light, and it's not. If you have a fight between a Helldiver and an Empire trooper, the fight is a very one-sided fight because the armor of the Helldivers will defend against the Empire's troops, and it won't work the same way either way because their kinetic attacks are just gonna fucking go right through, and most of their weapons are kinetic. Go ahead.
May I bring up an interesting point about titanium? Is titanium actually has this really weird quality which makes molding it and everything cutting it really hard. Is the fact that titanium disperses heat really well. So if you want to cut it, you have to keep it constantly cooled, which made making the SR-71 really hard because we didn't know that. And that basically means is that compared to the Stormtrooper armor, which is thin and essentially plastic, you've got a metal specific that is like in nature super good at dispersing heat to the point where if you make a plane out of it, you can pretty much go out of the atmosphere without having to worry, and then you can paint it black.
Well, another thing is the Helldivers armor. It's all stated to be made out of a titanium alloy, but an alloy just means a mixture of metals. So every single armor is actually every single armor is actually different. So they have heat resistant armors, and then they have armors that are electricity resistant, and they have armors that are meant for stealth. They have lighter armors, they have heavier armors. They have all different kind of armors that give them all different kind of prop. There's armors that are stronger against acids than other armors. Like it's made out of a titanium alloy, but the alloy part of whatever it's mixed against is different depending on what they want the specialty of that armor to be. But we do know that it's stated to be durable as the hull of a super destroyer ship. That's across the board. They are made. It is the same material that's made out of that. Now, obviously, it's not going to be equally durable because the ship's going to be a lot thicker, clearly. But they're made out of the same.
No problem.
Yeah, they're made out of the same material. So yeah, in terms of armor, it's not. And also, they have energy shields, which the Empire doesn't have. Just in terms of equipment, in terms of armor. Not to the same. The average stormtrooper is not having energy. Is not having an energy field.
No.
Well,
They can have energy fields, and they can block bullets. It's a matter of the more powerful shields just cause so much radiation that'll give you cancer and die, which is why you see it on droidicas. But as far as tech goes, personal shields do exist, and they can stop like basic bullets.
No, I know they exist, but they're not. They aren't. I didn't say they don't exist. I'm saying Empire troopers don't have them.
Stronger blasters and certain weaponry will just easily go through the force fields, though. But I don't think any of this matters because the Emperor would just solo. The Emperor can just destroy a solar system.
The Emperor. Go ahead.
The Emperor can destroy a solar system.
I feel like what's gonna happen, this isn't gonna be solved between like ground troops or even really the military might that they have. It's really just gonna be Darth Vader and Palpatine basically soloing most of what Helldivers have to offer.
No, because
obviously Star Destroyers can handle stuff.
You want to know the downside of Star Destroyers?
What?
Their shields have to go down in order to launch TIE fighters because the way their shields work is that
doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. Palpatine's going to destroy an entire. He's going to go by every solar system and destroy it.
Why would he? He's a conqueror. That's kind of
counterintuitive. If it gets so dangerous, he's going to go in and do it for them.
How does the Emperor destroy a solar system?
That's
force lightning, literally.
Okay, like how? Like you got?
It's
like
not
that was in the
EU.
books.
It's not just EU. It's also Disney canon as well.
Okay, tell me how does he do it? Like what happens?
Yeah, we don't talk about Disney.
No one likes Disney.
Let me go.
Wait, I have a question about this.
Go for it.
If he can destroy a solar system, why didn't he do that in the movies?
Because that wasn't lore yet.
Because he can't is the answer.
It's never been shown.
He built a fucking.
Not only does that matter.
Wait, yeah.
Basically,
Why
all
was-
Jedi's are casually FTL, so it's not like their bullets are going to hit.
No, they're not. No, they're not. He
all,
built.
all,
Look,
all Force users are casually FTL, and they can just simply outspeed the bullets and kill the Helldiver.
no, they're not. They are not casually
A
FTL.
basic,
are.
a basic
FTL?
bitch ass Inquisitor could just kill.
You have to.
kill
You
every
can't just
Helldiver.
keep saying these things. You have to actually explain
Can I
when.
point
Where
out-
did this happen? Where is this? 'Cause he doesn't destroy a solar system. In fact, the massive plot in the movies and the books is that he created the Death Star, that was like the most powerful weapon that anyone had ever seen. It could destroy planets. So if he could just, with a wave of his hand, destroy an entire solar system, that would make the entire plot points of the film series completely irrelevant.
No.
I don't
It's
think he
because-
wanted to
no,
show
no,
that
no.
he had force powers. That's one thing.
No. The thing is, one, people didn't believe in the Force. Second, it's just a force of might. Like, people believe a Death Star, something called the Death Star, and that looks like the Death Star, over some guy who can destroy solar systems. You can prove it, but that's way too much destruction.
I haven't seen him
to
destroy
cause
solar
fear.
systems. He's destroyed
He ha-
fleets with
He hasn't
force
destroyed any solar
storms.
systems. The closest thing he has is that when when Plagueis died and he took Plagueis's power, he like it seemed like the stars themselves shook, but that he didn't destroy a solar system. I don't know what you're talking about.
That's enough to destroy a solar system.
That is not. But he did. But you got to read the quote, because it doesn't say that these stars
A
shook.
single-
He said he saw. It's specifically worded like he saw a vision. He did not shake the stars. This is the thing I don't like about this kind of stuff. That is not. Go read the. I've read it. Go read it. It does not say that the stars actually shook. That's not what it says.
Oh man, point this
It
out
is.
about
It is.
getting it wrong.
It is written. It is written in extremely flowery language. It's very metaphorical in nature, and it's talked about as if it's a vision. He does not shake the stars. He cannot destroy a solar system. It's literally never happened across anywhere in Star Wars where anyone has destroyed a solar system. It's not possible. No one has ever traveled FTL. They take these little. Go ahead. Please prove me wrong. I genuinely want someone to, because I keep hearing this.
I think I know what he's talking about, but it was not a solar system or a planet. It probably was a fleet once, when he made a force storm that did decimate a fleet.
Yeah,
once
force storms
in
are strong
Dark
as shit.
Empire.
He can cover a whole planet in force storms, but that's not a solar
that's
system.
what he did.
I'm not the one who's saying that Star Wars wouldn't be a difficult fight at all. I'm aware they have stuff. The idea that they completely decimate because they have solar system busters is not true. That's the part that irritates
There was
me.
the Star Crusher.
Is a Star Crusher
Extended
destroying a solar system?
Yes, it destroys stars.
That's not destroying a solar system.
It does destroy
the
stars.
Thing about it, the reason why Emperor is so strong is because of scaling to different characters that are Sith. That's why he's so
And
strong.
Jedi that are
But
weaker than him.
the scaling in Star Wars is bullshit. It's so hard bullshit. Like somebody took like a kind of below average Jedi, and there was I forgot what this device was called, but there was this device that was basically going to like rupture the planet, and he used the Force to calm down. He calmed down the device, so the device did, and he like sort of like took it. That, and people are like, okay, he's planetary. No, he's not. The Force doesn't. No, he's not. How?
He literally contained the blast.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't. He did not. There was no blast. There was no blast. He used the Force. The Force is not a physical thing. It's a spiritual thing. He used the Force to calm a device that was going to destroy the planet, and focusing that hard killed him. He did not contain a physical blast that would have blown up the planet. You're looking at Star Wars and trying to rate something like the Force that is not an actual energy. It's a spiritual thing where it is all it's all about like your mental state and like your it's very this sort of. At no point does anyone like take a star and chuck it or stop an explosion and hold it in one place. It didn't happen. That's not what happened.
Luke actually held a small black hole once using the Force.
How small was the black hole?
It was mentioned as a small one.
And what does holding it mean?
Okay, that's
Like,
it's been a while since I heard that.
Yeah, like things have to be proven, or at least they have to have evidence. I mean, if look, I would give you that if the device exploded and he stopped an explosion, like literally held it still, and then he died from struggling and all that, then okay, fine. But that's not what happened. That's not even close to what happened in that scene. And that's the case for all of it. Like you said, you came into this conversation saying that Palpatine destroyed a solar system. That's what you stated. And then I said, well, he did this thing and stars shook. He's like, oh yeah, well that's destroying a soul. No, that's not. You're altering what things are and changing the wording and saying it. But that he didn't. Go read it. He did not shake the stars. It didn't actually shake. That's not that. It was a vision that he had after Plagueis died, and he said that it was like I forget the wording. I'll have to look up the book, but I read it, and I remember when I read it being bullshit because it was like oh, it seemed as if the stars themselves shook when he got like it's so not exact on the way it's written. It's flowery and metaphorical on purpose. And people took that, and you took it, and you're like, he can blow up a solar system. No, he can't. No, it never said that. That you take it and you twist it to mean something that it's not. And that's what a lot of scalers do. And this is kind of why I make fun of scalers a lot. It's for things like this.
Okay, sorry.
Are we going strictly off canon?
Yes, but the thing is, the device was literally going to activate. Jarl Proof contained the explosion.
He did not contain the explosion, and you just said yourself that it was going to activate, which means he didn't contain an explosion.
Hold on.
He just stopped. He stopped a thing from exploding. That's not the same thing.
Well, okay, but there was another Jedi, but he was assisted by other Jedi and to actually move Star Destroyers, and yeah, he actually protected the planet doing that. But again, that did also.
I'm not saying there's not insane feats. There's a bunch of crazy shit. Like I said, Palpatine used a Force Storm and covered an entire planet with it.
My thing is that if he is able to wipe out fleets, what does Helldivers do? What are they going to do if he can just easily wipe out fleets?
Send another fleet.
I mean, there's all kinds.
If he can easily destroy that, they're just wasting resources.
I mean, they're okay with they're okay with wasting resources, but also it would depend on how he was able to destroy the fleet. I mean, you could say the same thing. Why didn't he destroy Luke's fleet? I mean, what Luke had wasn't even a fucking fleet.
Because he wanted to turn Luke to the dark side.
Okay, but
hey, here's the thing I will say.
What's up?
If he is able to destroy one fleet that the Helldivers sent, they can just keep sending a fleet, and then he'll just keep blowing it up.
There's a lot of shit they can do. I mean, they've been able to launch attacks from ships from the other side of a solar system and fucking blow up planets. I mean,
worst things worse.
Go ahead.
Worst things worse. It's a war of attrition, and then he is like 4 days maybe until he passes out, and then the fleet will bomb him.
No, using the Force, you won't pass out. That's mostly a Disney.
No, you will.
But
there has been people.
Yeah, like if you're using it, you'll pass out eventually. And I mean, then
the Force does tire you. I mean, you just said it yourself that guy containing it, he almost passed. That was not Disney. Somebody said that. Someone said the guy containing the Force like passed out.
Yeah.
Because it killed him. It killed him by overusing the Force.
No, he died. He died because he'd already been stabbed multiple times.
Was it? Who said he overused the Force? Whatever. Fine.
I mentioned the guy
was dying because he was already dying.
Okay, fair enough. Someone said that he would overuse the Force.
He still had the ability to contain. So this magical idol, was basically just imbued with the Force and was going to release it all and kill the entire planet, and he managed to set it and stop it. So I think that's reason enough to presume that. Not only presume, but also, planets can be destroyed with the Force easily.
No.
Just look at Nihilus.
No, Nihilus does not destroy planets with the Force. He absorbs all of the Force energy of a planet, and then it falls apart because it can't contain itself. Again,
he's basically like
he is not blowing up a planet. He is not physically He is not blowing it up. He is not using Force, not like the Force, but like actual scientific Force to blow up a planet. He's not. He is absorbing Force energy from the planet, and then it falls the fuck apart. Yeah, it's not that. This is what I'm talking about. It's like you're slightly changing, altering what things are to try and make it as extreme a feat as possible.
Like the mass shadow generator can literally just destroy the entire galaxy, like kill all life in the galaxy.
We're talking about the Empire. But we're talking about the Empire.
Yeah,
and are we using canon?
I'm talking about years. I'm talking about years before the Empire.
Then we're talking about the Empire.
Cool. That knowledge is lost.
The Empire is the feat. Like, I mean, I know Star Wars has gods. They have those two gods. They're like gods of the Force and shit. What's that chick? I forgot her name. She's a god. But we're not talking about those characters. Maybe, I don't remember. But we're not talking
about the daughter.
Yeah, but we're not talking about those gods. We're talking about the Empire. And the Empire's never done that. In fact, there's no Jedi. There's no human Jedi person or Sith that has ever blown up a planet with just the power of the Force. You have to do all these windy, sort of snake eating its own tail, sort of bends in logic to try and force it, but it's never actually happened.
And there's not that many of them to begin with, anyways.
I've been
Yes,
playing.
they can still casually dodge lasers and bullets. Like, they're not gonna get shot. They're not gonna die by getting shot by guns.
Why wouldn't I?
Okay, let's say the Empire has, I don't know, maybe, let's say 20, 100 Force users. I know that's a lot, but there were more Force users the Empire was using other than just Darth Vader and Sidious.
The problem is if we're using the Empire...
They're still rare.
No, they aren't. It's just the two. If there's different eras and different, like, organizations that use Force users, but if we're specifically doing the Empire...
It's Mara Jade.
Mara Jade's not part of the Empire.
Yes, she is. She's an Emperor's hand.
She's an Emperor's hand, yes.
And she's not the only Emperor's hand.
No, and Vader killed like all of them because he learned Palpatine was going to replace him. And he's like, no, the fuck you aren't.
Can I ask? There are a handful, still not a lot of Force users.
Let the guy who's asking to talk. Wait. Before you guys talk, someone just Luke Skywalker moved a dove and tail device which produced a micro black hole. He did not move a black hole. Okay, so Aussie Man is disagreeing with you. So that's another feat that we could throw out. The guy who wanted to talk.
Yeah. So how fast are blaster bolts?
They're not light speed, which is why I said FTL is ridiculous. They're they fire out plasma. They're not light speed. We don't know how fast plasma fires. They could be bullet speed. They could be slower. We don't know.
Slower than bullets because if
what I'm
I
asking
watch it move, it's slow as fuck.
Yeah, plasma usually moves slower. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. What I'm asking is there anywhere in lore that says that they go faster than like?
No.
How fast do we see them move in the movies? Because in the movies they're pretty freaking slow.
Well, in the movies we can assume that's probably not the actual speed that they move because they're a visual medium and you have to be able to see the thing that's being fired. So I can assume it's faster than that.
What about Clone Wars? Because it's animated.
Clone Wars? Same thing.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's still a visual medium. It's still a visual medium.
It's still a visual medium. Like they make it so that you could see it because one is visually more interesting and two so you can kind of tell what's happening. Like it would be weird if they were firing and you just couldn't see what they were firing and it would just be like it would look like nothing's even happening.
You can see Imperial lasguns in video games and Warhammer games and you're not supposed to see them because they're light speed.
It's the same way as what
it's
kind of similar to where you play a video game and you can see the bullets passing by you so that you can react to them. Like in Helldivers, you can jump out of the way of literally any blast that's being shot. Like you can see it moving. But those things are not moving that slow. Like they're moving faster than that. It's giving you to see it because one, it's visually interesting, and two, it allows you to actually not be hit.
Holy crap!
And it'd be unfair.
Proof Helldivers.
The old Dragon Ball argument.
Yes, right. That's the kind of shit that I'm talking about. Like I could say because technically, if you really want to go there, we know that the automatons fire laser weapons. That they are called lasers. Lasers are light. So that's supposedly light speed, but we could see them moving, and you can actually dive out of the way when they're coming your way. Does that mean that I could just say that Helldivers are all faster than light? No, that would be ridiculous. That would be stupid. They clearly aren't.
Well, it's like me saying, because I've dodged a 223 round from 500 yards away, I am faster than sound. No, fucking objects slow down over distance.
I almost got hit. I got into an issue with this dude once. He tried to hit me with his car. He was going about 70 miles an hour. I jumped out of the way. Does that mean I'm faster than 70 miles an hour? No. I just moved. You know, and like it's no, it's not even close. And there has never been a Jedi or Sith that has moved faster than light or has even moved light speed. It's never happened. And the only reason why I haven't read everything in Star Wars. The only reason why I'm capable of standing here and saying this is because I've had so many people tell me it is, and they can't prove it. Because every single time they've pointed me to where it happens, and I look at it, I'm like, no, you are lying about this. You're manipulating the information. You're looking at it in a very particular way that you're trying to force the numbers here. I have a friend of mine who he's read like everything. So he's obsessed with Star Wars. When I tell him some of the shit that they tell that people in like the scaling community tell me about how powerful Star Wars is, he looks at me like I'm fucking insane. He loves Darth Bane. Like, he's a massive fan of Darth Bane. People wank Darth Bane to insane levels. I'm like, how powerful is Darth Bane? He's like, I think like he could probably lift, like he probably like move a building, you know, with the Force, maybe like a tall building, but that's about it. It's nothing that like he's read all the Bane books. But if you go to something like, I don't know how high versus Battle Wiki has, but go to it, I guarantee you it's gonna be ridiculous because all of their shit's ridiculous, and people just go with it. It's weird.
The reason I hate versus Battle Wiki actually came from I was looking at some stuff for the Punisher, and it said Punisher was city level because he took down like Claw and a punch, and I'm like, sorry.
Yeah, I don't care about I don't care about versus Battle Wiki. Versus Battle Wiki is just I care about what people around me are saying and what people are saying to me.
Oh, that's why I hate the Wiki.
So I'm not gonna go into too much about. I'm just gonna talk about what people here are saying, and people here are saying that that Palpatine is solar system because he apparently shook stars, which never happened, and he's saying that they can move faster than light. Although he hasn't actually given me a feat or anything that proves that they're faster than light. I'm gonna let him, if he's still here, I think I'm gonna let him tell me if there's something. But if it's just that the fucking guns shoot lasers and they dodge it, that's not true. They shoot plasma, and I'm not like blaming him necessarily because these are very, very common beliefs that are in the scaling community. And I have a benefit of not being a part of the scaling community, but honestly, I think you've been bamboozled. I think that people have lied to you. I think that if you actually go and read these passages and see what they say, you're going to see pretty clearly, and you actually look at them without like rose-tinted glasses trying to beef up the numbers, you're going to realize pretty quickly they're not that strong.
One thing that sets the Empire at a disadvantage is that Emperor Palpatine set Darth Vader's suit to be weak against electricity, and the Helldivers have Tesla guns to kill Darth Vader.
Well, yeah, he said he made him weak against a bunch of stuff. The reason why he breathes funny is because he gave him a rebreather that doesn't quite work. Like he specifically weakened him on purpose.
It has less mobility. The suit was specifically designed supposed to counteract because Anakin as a character was highly mobile, high speed, low drag, and Vader was made to be a walking tank because Palpatine knew he can't compete with Anakin if Anakin gets a saber, so he literally made it so that Vader is slow and bulky. He just made everything a pain for Vader.
Well, yeah, that, but like he intentionally made it to where he's weak
got
against
one
lightning.
person at a time.
Sorry.
No, you're good. Go ahead. Whoever.
I was gonna say the quotes. So you were talking about Darth Bane. The reason they have Darth Bane so high is the quotes I posted in the chat, and also because he apparently scales to Obi-Wan, where Obi-Wan, at least with his reaction speed, is able to deflect 3 blaster bolts in a nanosecond.
How the hell does he scale to Obi-Wan when they were alive at totally different points in history?
Like by 1,000-year difference, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
wait,
because
I know.
Because they're using the example of, as a Darth Lord of the Sith, he should be comparable to Jedi Knights and Masters such as Obi-Wan.
Why? It's 5,000 years apart.
No, I know how. It's because him and Obi-Wan.
If anything, Bane should be stronger because he had to compete with even more Force users than Obi-Wan ever had to.
Yeah, but it's 5,000 years before.
Well, you could argue that 5,000 years ago they were stronger because there were less people alive. There were less people like using the Force back then, or more.
I do know. Obi-Wan, he was trained in an era of peace, and I do know it was a fact that they weren't trained as much as they were during the Clone Wars because they had to compete with actual combat.
Yeah, but that's not good because that doesn't matter because
Meanwhile,
George Lucas.
Bane,
It doesn't matter.
Bane was in constant war.
George Lucas himself has said that Luke Skywalker is the strongest Jedi that's ever been or ever will be, and he was born significantly like he was born in a time of basically peace, and he's only actually faced one other Force user in his entire career. So
what Lucas says doesn't matter at all. It doesn't matter.
Well, he created it. He made the story and everything.
He created it, but yeah, he didn't create Thrawn. He didn't create Mara Jade.
But it's his story. Everything outside of the official, like what he made, is all based on what he made. So yeah, you have to take it in. You have to take it into consideration.
Yeah, Disney could change what he said, but I feel like it's probably
now at this point. No, well, so at this point now that like Disney owns it. You may not like it. No one likes it. I don't like it, but they do. So if they say something's not canon, then it's not canon. If they say something that is canon, it is canon. It just is what it is. It sucks, but it is. I'm saying before Disney ever bought it, when it was just like he consistently said Luke Skywalker's the strongest. He always will be the strongest. He always was the strongest. That was his goal. Any sort of other person who comes in and writes books and stuff and does all that kind of stuff, that's great. That adds to it, but it doesn't negate any of what George Lucas says. It's his fucking series. He literally owns the rights to it. He created it. It's his baby. I'm not going to suddenly say he doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about because some asshole asked him if they can write a book and then decided to write a bunch of shit that goes against what he made. That's them changing the shit. That's not George Lucas. Like I don't think George Lucas is a perfect storyteller, but I give him credit for his own stuff.
I do want to ask if let's say for all like hyperbole reasons, if Palpatine and Darth Vader were, let's say, like Darth Vader's planetary and then Palpatine's solar system, and they're both FTL, would they be able to beat the Helldivers? Because that's really all that matters. If we're
Probably not, because they could still get exhausted after going against endless armies. It's gonna be just them two against countless fleets of troops.
Well, look,
after a while, they're still gonna pass out.
The fact
even
of
if they are.
The fact of the matter is that Helldivers, Helldivers are colonizers. When we play the game, we play as the boots on the ground soldiers who are colonizing worlds. So on the boots on the ground combat, Helldivers win, hands down. In space combat, Helldivers win most of the time, if not always, because their basic little bitch ships have way more firepower than the Empire's basic little bitch ships. In order for the Empire to overtake Helldivers ships, or I'm sorry, Super Earth ships, they have to have like their big boys come in. And you said they had 60,000? Awesome. That's not a lot in the face of the numbers that we're talking about. It doesn't matter. They can have a million. It's not a lot. Yeah, go ahead.
In the Obi-Wan show, Darth Vader's seen destroying ships.
Yeah, I know. He's shown like ripping it apart. Yeah, I know. But the ships, they're not like fucking moon-sized ships. It's not really irrelevant.
Yeah, but it's not the same size as a Helldiver ship.
But a Helldiver ship is the smallest ship that Super Earth has. It is a ship that is meant to support one dude on the ground, and it has way more firepower than any Star Wars ship that's that size. Because it's a glass cannon.
The ships that would be more of a threat to them than the big ships.
They're stated to have the firepower to level a small moon, in each of those super destroyers. So they're ridiculously powerful for their size, but they're also the smallest ships Helldivers have. They also have ships that are damn near the size of a planet. The Super Earth tests out their new guns by blowing up moons. They use moons as their fucking target practice. And that's only because they value planets, and they don't want it because they like colonizing worlds. They don't want to destroy planets.
Rephrase my question. Do you think Vader could destroy them?
Is there any quote that says that they destroy the moons by targeting them?
Yes.
Yes.
Multiple. Yeah, they destroy moons.
When you talk to your crew on the Helldiver ship, they refer to like, yeah, we tested our weapons and it can destroy a small moon. If you talk to the engineer chick in the back, she confirms that that's a thing.
The creators also released a news. It was like a news clip, like a in-universe news, where they talk about how they were testing out guns on moons and blowing them up. It's
and
very
the DSS
casual.
News confirms it as well.
Yeah, it's very casual. They also like I said, they opened up a black hole that was larger than a planet. Like if you want to go by scaling rules, which I never do, but if you want to go by scaling rules, a black hole that's larger than a planet is significantly more than just planetary. It's like fucking, like, I think they said that the black hole that Liu Kang opens in his fatality, that's like the size of a truck, is like solar system level or some shit. Okay, if you open up one that's larger than a planet, what would that be? That's like a section of the galaxy. I don't even fucking know. Some sort of cosmic levels of power. I don't do that because I think that's dumb. But they can open up black holes in planets. And they can blow up planets by opening up black holes where those planets are. Like they
metal as fuck.
Yeah, they're powerful as shit. They're not weak. And their their average ships are stronger. Their soldiers are way stronger. They have better weapons in handheld weapons. They arguably have just as good, if not better, weapons on their ships. They're better in pretty much every way outside of the Force, and I don't think two Force users are really going to make all that much of a difference, and I don't think that Palpatine is just going to constantly destroy fleets as they fly by, because he didn't do it in anywhere in his own series. He didn't do it. He didn't do it in Clone Wars to end the war. If he could do all that shit, he never did it in the films. What do you mean? What do you mean?
He wanted to end the war. He wanted the war to continue.
Done that, he wouldn't have needed Vader.
The fact isn't that he wanted to end the war, or that he.
No, he needs Vader. He needs Vader. He needs Vader because of Rule of Two. He needs to He needs to ensure that when he dies of old age at like 400 or something, that way the Sith legacy will continue.
Oh, you mean until the next movie where he comes back?
You mean the thing that doesn't matter no more because he just came back?
So the idea. So okay. So I don't get where you guys are coming from. Okay, let's say that that's true. So you're giving him feats for shit that you're saying he could do but doesn't ever. Like he never wants to. So then he doesn't do it. Then they still win. I don't like it. It doesn't matter if he doesn't do it regardless of the reason, then he just doesn't fucking do it.
It's because you assume they have enough military might in their own universe to never need to do that. If they realize
they can even conquer their own universe.
That's the rock paper scissors excuse. Rock paper scissors gun.
The fact, no, you're saying that if he doesn't need to, if he needs to, then he'll do it. But he didn't. He lost. He lost twice, technically, if you want to go with Disney canon. So clearly, even if he needs to, he still doesn't.
Well,
so it doesn't matter.
Well, no, it's because he was fighting other Force users. That's the reason why.
I'm saying the reason doesn't matter. He doesn't do it. Well, like if he did need to because he lost twice.
Okay, he lost twice.
How would that have helped him?
How would it have helped him to instantly destroy Luke Skywalker and their ships before he came on and toppled his entire empire? I know, and it fucked him in the ass because he lost. You guys, you're making a circular argument. My point is very clear. It doesn't matter what his reasons are. He didn't do it, and he lost. So it doesn't matter. He did because he lost. Stop saying that. Yes, he did. He lost.
He lost because of over arrogance. But he's not fighting other Force users.
Okay.
Let me say this.
Each and every single example you use is him trying to convince another Force user. He's not trying to convince any Force users here, meaning that he's completely fine with using his might.
Okay, and what happens if Darth Vader dies?
What happens if Darth Vader dies? You still have Palpatine.
Yes, but he's gonna need.
Even gonna die. You haven't given an example of how he's gonna die.
Literally, I gave 100 different ways he could die.
You didn't.
How did I not? They blow up moons. They blow up planets. They can kill Darth Vader very easily. No, he can't.
We're saying.
No, he can't. He can't survive any of it.
No, he can. His immortal spirit will survive it and just inhabit one of his clone bodies. This is both true for Legends. This is both true for Legends and Disney.
No, we're talking about Darth Vader, and Darth Vader.
Define Darth
with
Vader.
Fourth amplification. Okay, we're saying all of this as like the high end, like highball stuff. And with Fourth amplification, with Force amplification, he can easily survive just planet-destroying feats and moon feats, and then just travel across the galaxy and kill
When?
things.
When does he destroy a planet? When does he survive? When does he survive an explosion that destroys a planet at the epicenter of that explosion? Please tell me where that happens.
It happens. Here's the funny thing. It happens in this movie called Return of the Jedi. Now, I don't know if you watched it.
I have.
But he survives that giant explosion and comes back in both continuities.
No, he doesn't. We don't see him in the.
Darth Corvus. We're talking about Darth Vader.
No, Vader doesn't survive. Vader just chooses to die.
I have a question about.
He chooses to become one with the Force.
I have a question about the solar system thing. So, you guys said that he wanted to get Luke to join the dark side, right?
Yes.
So why wouldn't he just, knowing Luke was a good guy, I don't know, blow up the solar system and be like, hey Luke, I'll blow up another one and then another one if you don't join me.
Because Luke would probably,
actually, that's Dark Empire.
Yeah, that is Dark Empire. That's literally Dark Empire.
Yeah, that's literally what happens
so,
in Dark Empire.
In Dark Empire, he blows up several solar systems to get Luke to join him?
Well, planets, but I mean, yeah. He doesn't want to just waste. He doesn't want to just smoke an entire solar system.
Why? Yeah, fuck it. He could do it to an empty one if he wanted to.
That's so idiotic to do, though. He wouldn't do it. Like, that's the thing. He would only do it unless if he absolutely needs to. Which, against the Helldivers,
how do we know he even can do it? Because if he doesn't do it,
well, can I say why he wouldn't?
Media.
Did you just say I don't see why he wouldn't as a reason?
Can I say why he wouldn't?
Explain why he wouldn't.
The reason he didn't want to blow up just any moon is because he was just trying to establish the Empire. At that point, he didn't control the whole galaxy. He was trying to build up his Empire. That's why he wasn't blowing up every planet.
I mean, if you just think about it, he controls the entire galaxy.
He doesn't.
No.
He doesn't.
I'm saying in the movies, he controls the entire galaxy.
No, he doesn't. They applied that in the movies. That's why he was pissed off when they blew up Alderaan, because he wasn't ready yet.
Alright, well, he leads the Empire at least, and that's, what, the largest thing in the galaxy? At least the largest Empire faction, right? I would assume.
Largest faction, but didn't own the galaxy.
Alright, but would you say he owned most of the galaxy?
No, he didn't even conquer the Outer Rim yet.
Yes, he did own most of the galaxy.
I would say he had most. He had most. He didn't have all of it.
A lot of the galaxy.
There's literally an entire section called the Unknown Space, the Unknown Regions.
Okay.
And he didn't have the Outer Rim
of the galaxy. What is stopping him from just blowing up like a solar system that he doesn't own, or that nobody owns, or that is owned by a bunch of people who don't like him?
Because he can't blow up a solar system.
Because he can.
Exactly.
We've already established that he can. You haven't proven that he can.
I'm saying under a scenario where he can. I'm saying this under a scenario where he can because I want to know what the Helldivers can do.
Well, it doesn't.
They can send
Well,
near
you're talking
endless
no, because
troops
we're talking about the Empire as they are against Helldivers as they are. He did not destroy a solar system.
I do not believe that the Empire by itself can beat it. I feel like the only way they have it is the Force in this scenario. I don't care about the Empire there, though. I think that's the least interesting aspect of Star Wars. I'm trying to talk about the Force here.
But you could talk about, but you're talking about a version of the Force that isn't actually in the thing that you're talking about.
There is plenty of evidence. I just don't feel like fucking reading all.
It's not. The only evidence you have is the shaking star, and I've read it. It does not say.
That isn't the only evidence I have.
That's the only evidence you brought up. That's the only evidence that you stated.
I'm trying to.
And the explode, and you said that Vader blowing, and you said Vader surviving the explosion of the Death Star. He wasn't in the fucking Death Star when it exploded. Yes, you did. Who said that? Somebody said that.
I thought you were talking about Palpatine. He basically just faced
Jesus
him.
Christ. I thought I keep getting y'all confused. Anyway,
I thought people were talking about Palpatine. I got confused.
Look. You're saying a lot of stuff. You're saying that Palpatine could destroy solar systems. You name one thing. I said no. This is what it is.
He
It's
can
not.
basically survive a planet blowing up to shitty writing. I will admit, it's literally on the part
How?
of shitty writing.
But how could Darth Vader just survive an explosion of a planet?
But, probably not Vader. Probably not Vader. But
I don't think Palpatine can either.
No, he can.
How?
He
Or
literally
transfer it.
That's not surviving the explosion. That's now technically yes, he's surviving, but I guess I'm saying tanking an explosion. He's not taking an explosion. He's not. He lives through it, I suppose, but he doesn't survive it. You could still defeat him with an explosion that size. You could defeat him with an explosion much smaller. You could shoot him in the face, and he'll die if the bullet hits him. He's not.
Even poison him.
You could do all kinds of stuff to him. Same thing with Darth Vader. But one of you, I guess, I gotta stop assuming because I keep getting y'all confused. One of you guys said that Darth Vader can survive an explosion being in the epicenter of a planetary explosion. Nowhere does that ever happen. I don't know where anyone got that from. That's not true. That's not a thing.
Start blowing up.
He wasn't in the Death Star. He was in a TIE fighter.
Because with fourth amplification, he's able to withstand Palpatine's lightning. That's the thing. And if we're saying that Palpatine is solar system in this scenario, he can withstand a planet.
But he's not solar system. That's the thing. He isn't. We've already gone over. Why are we going over the assumption that he is if he's not?
I'm going under the assumption because
okay,
I just want to know,
I'm gonna go.
In your opinion, Mr. YouTuber Man, what do you think? Would they be able to beat the Helldivers if Palpatine was was solar system?
Would Palpatine be able to beat the Helldivers? The Helldivers were multiversal godlike beings who shoot lightning out their dick. No, it's not. It doesn't matter. It's not a relevant. You're just adding powers to a dude.
Because they're
I think you're just lowballing Star Wars so your favorite video game can win.
First off, not far from my favorite video game, but also you guys are saying that it's a domination. I don't agree that it's a domination. I know quite a bit about Star Wars. Clearly, I'm not a master, but then I'm asking you, give me something. But nothing y'all have given. You can't say I'm lowballing if you guys aren't actually supporting the fucking stuff that you guys are saying. I'm just asking you to support it. If you tell me something or show me something or do something, I'm not gonna still sit here loving on fucking Helldivers. You gotta give me something, but you're not. That's not on me.
Look, he does have the ability to destroy fleets, force storms. You even mentioned it where he covered a planet.
Yeah, I said that.
He can do.
That's
the most he can do.
That's the most that I have seen him be able to do, is being able to cover a planet with force storms and destroy a fleet. That's the most. But like,
that's still pretty good.
And I agreed with that. But I did not agree with solar system exploding. Yeah, but he's one dude. He's still one dude. His army would completely collapse under the Helldivers, and none of you guys have even defended that part. But they would completely collapse, and he's going to be one guy who could cover a planet in lightning. How long is that going to be able to last before him, in whatever ship he's in, on whatever planet he's in, gets blown out of fucking existence and he ceases and he's dead? Like, it's not.
Well, how
it can't
about this
last.
scenario for you?
What?
So in several games and books, Vader is able to pull Star Destroyers out of orbit and smash his enemies with them.
Sure.
So
that's cool.
How does that stack up against Helldiver? When he can like pull the ships out of orbit and smash them into the ground.
Helldiver's ships can blow up moons and planets. We've been over this. Like, it's cool. It's good. It's awesome that one dude can do that. But they can match and go over the power levels with the weapons on their ships. That's my point. There is no individual. Well, okay. If I want to sort of wank. Well, not really wank. It's actually in the canon. But General Brash, I really don't want to bring these up, but these are technically canon. General Brash he can't die. He's immortal. He destroyed an entire fleet with a pistol. He is a ridiculous, over-the-top, meme-like character that I don't use for these types of debates because it's ridiculous. It's over the top on purpose. But apparently, it's entirely fucking factual. Like he is a all-knowing, all-powerful being who just cannot be defeated under anything.
If you want to bring up something against Emperor Palpatine, just use the God Shield from Helldivers. That's canon.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, and like I said, I don't use this stuff because I don't like winking shit too ridiculous and try and force the numbers to just have someone instantly win. I don't have to lower Star Wars to fake my favorite game, as you guys are saying, to win. There's things there that I can use. I'm not, because I don't think it makes an interesting conversation, and I just think it's not fair. So I'm trying to make this as good as possible, but when you guys come out and say that he could blow up solar systems because he has a vision where stars shake, that you guys are the ones who are being dishonest. It's not me. I'm being pretty freaking decent about this whole thing. That's
one thing he conceded about was the fleet destruction. Yeah, and he's got a good point about it not being enough because Palpatine can't just keep doing that, and a lot of shit can still happen, and there'll be other battlefields. It's gonna be very tough.
Yeah, at the end of the day, the Empire's got two dudes who are gonna be difficult to deal with, but not impossible because they have weapons that can kill them. And even if you want to say that they are this insane, over-the-top shit, Helldivers also has their meme bullshit characters like John Helldiver and General Brash, who I don't want to use, and I haven't used anywhere on this list, and I'm not going to use them, but I could if I wanted to. But there's not. Like, what's the Emperor going to do? Single-handedly by himself while his army is getting slaughtered every single second, take over the entire galaxy? No, he can't do that. Nope, can't. How?
What are the ranks again?
Well, there are Dominate, Eternal War, Fight a bit more, Fight a bit, and then Instant Obliteration.
Alright, yeah, I think this is going to be Fight a bit more, because I feel like the Empire will be, like, the army itself will be able to hold out for a little bit, because, I mean, it's pretty big. But I don't think it'll be able to last for longer than like a few months. And then after they die, then the Emperor is just gonna get bombarded after he. Like, I assume he would hold down on a base, like at a base on a planet, have his entire fleet above there, like his last fleet. It's gonna get destroyed from an onslaught from the Helldivers. And then they're going to send John Helldiver down there to beat his prickly raisin.
Yeah, look, I think it's completely reasonable to say that if all of the Empire was wiped out and you have Darth Vader and Palpatine on a planet, that they would hold it for quite some time as Super just threw ship after ship after ship, not being able to take them out for quite some time.
Yeah.
I buy that. But the idea that these two by themselves can completely wipe out Super Earth and take over the galaxy is ridiculous. They're not that powerful. They're not all-knowing. The Super Earth can blow up the fucking planet they're on, and if he does, they will die. They're not going to survive. Now, maybe Palpatine can put his soul into another body, and then there'll be this thing where the Helldivers have to find out where these bodies are, where are these clone bodies that he has to find and destroy that, and that might cause even more problems. Maybe he might try to build a new empire. I don't know with who, though. Like, there's stuff that could happen. Some interesting conversations can happen. But just saying that he's solar system and he instantly blows up everything and he dominates the whole universe is not going to happen. It's not going to happen, and it's not accurate to the story.
Wait, he has one good trick, too. He can get visions of the future. That's a very common concept.
Yeah, it is, but he doesn't entirely control it, and he doesn't.
True, yes.
He doesn't really know what comes to him and what doesn't come to him. And also, and actually, this is another point I could bring up, but I don't, because again, I don't think it's fair. Is that he can only technically do that if the universe that he's in has the Force in it. And if he goes to a universe that doesn't have the Force, like for instance Super Earth, he actually technically won't have any powers at all. But again, I'm not using that.
I'm not prepared for this debate at all, but I think Star Wars beats Helldivers.
The main issue that we're having is that there is so much stuff we have to comb through that as of right now, we'll have to concede just because there is just so much we have to look for.
I mean, it's fine, but look, here's the thing. Like, I don't know if it's how you debate or whatever. If I don't know something, I don't say it. I feel like if you like I was saying to the one guy, if you go and read that feat with the stars that you were claiming was solar system, and you actually sat down and read the whole page, and saw what it says, I think you would be convinced that it's not actually him shaking the stars because of the way it's written.
It's not that feat I'm looking for. I'm trying to look for a feat from the Palpatine Disney, the Disney Palpatine book, not the.
I never brought up the stars thing, by the way.
Someone did. I don't know who did. Someone brought up this. I'm done trying to guess which one of you guys said what. It's all over the place. But there, because I'm not in the Discord. I'm not looking at who's talking when. I'm just hearing voices. But look, if you guys want to come back at a different point, like maybe next week or even tomorrow night, you want to come prepared and we can actually argue this. And I'm not the type of person that just holds my ground no matter what. If you give me something, I'll say okay. And no, I am not I'm not the type of debater who's like, oh no, I just like Helldivers, so I'm gonna fucking downgrade everybody. I don't say things I don't actually think, and I don't have nostalgia for shit. So it's like, if you convince me, I'll be convinced, and I'll change my mind. But is it just saying it based on the stuff that you said so far? I'm not convinced. But like I said, if you guys want to come by tomorrow night, we can try again, or we can come by next week if people don't want to do this 2 nights in a row. We could come by next week and we could have a whole debate about it. I always invite people to these debates. Very few people actually come.
This is your own personal ranking, so I mean you can put the Empire wherever you want. It's just I think the Empire is. This is not
my personal ranking. This is a community rank. So normally I do polls and I have people vote.
I'm barely a part of this community.
Yeah, people do polls on where to go and what is. But it's a community thing. But if you're going to come into debate for the sole purpose of debating, then you gotta be prepared to debate.
I literally just saw the stream was up.
I got you. No, it's cool. It is what it is. Yeah, it's fine. I'm not.
I do need to find this stupid feat from a Disney book.
For now, I'll put him in. I'll put him in fight a bit more. Why not? But I still think they're gonna lose, and they didn't convince me otherwise. So.
Completely agree.
Honestly, I wasn't really listening to the whole thing.
Thank you. You added a lot to that just now. Thank you.
Yeah, is the Battlefront and Battlefront 2, are they considered canon to like Star Wars? I'm talking about like the tech. Like, is the personal shields and the stuff that is in the games, are those canon?
Battlefront's not. Wait, hold up. Which Battlefront are you talking about?
Battlefront 2.
Well, which Battlefront? Which Battlefront 2? Because the first one's not canon, and the first one's not canon, and the second one is.
I'm looking at it right now on my PlayStation.
There's one that's first person, and there's one that's third person. There's one that's PS2, and there's one that's PS4 and 5.
The PS4 and 5 one.
That's the one that's canon. Yes, that would be canon.
Okay. I was just curious what the consensus was.
Yeah, no, it's after a certain point they announced that everything from that point on would be canon. Honestly, I think the best thing that's come out in the canon so far is like the Jedi games, Jedi Survivor and Jedi Fallen Order. Everything outside of that, like story-wise and kind of gameplay-wise, everything outside of that I think has been very average to just dog shit. I haven't liked any of it. But everyone told me like the best thing was Mandalorian, I should check it out, and then I saw the first season, I was like, wow, this is the most fucking average shit I ever seen. Okay, but everyone was saying that was like the greatest thing. I was like, man, you guys are just starved of content.
Star Wars.
Yeah.
Battlefront 2 is canon?
The second Battlefront 2, not the first one.
Why did no one bring up the weapon that they have?
I don't know. They weren't.
Because in the end of Battlefront 2, there's Project Cinder.
Oh yeah!
You gotta tell me what it is. I didn't play that game.
It's a weapon that lets you burn the entire Earth and turn it to ash.
It doesn't matter because he was already saying stuff like they could destroy solar systems, so it wouldn't have made it.
No, I'm not saying destroy solar system. I mean like the planets.
No, I get it, but it wouldn't make a difference because they could both sides could destroy planets.
Yeah, I believe
Project Cinder wasn't brought up.
Was only able to like burn over planets. Like,
well, they didn't bring it up because they were trying to force the opinion that he can destroy solar systems and that they can like destroy stars, and like they were trying to prove that they were way beyond what they were. That's why they didn't use the obvious arguments. They were trying to force shit. It's a scalar thing. I mean, they like people call me an anti-scalar, but I don't think it's anti-scaling.
Scaling isn't bullshit. You don't care.
It's just
personally, I
so
think you're
dumb.
pretty agreeable.
I think so. I'm not gonna lie, it annoyed me a little bit when he said that I'm just like depowering. It didn't annoy me because it's something that happens a lot. It's this hole that they cower into. They don't have an argument. They can't defend their points. They can't win at all. They don't see an out. So instead of improving their argument or doing better themselves, they try to downplay you. It's like argumentative gaslighting. It's like, it's not that I'm doing poorly here. It's that you are actually being dishonest, and that's like it's like, come on, dude. You kind of just gave up the fucking debate right there when you said that, because it's like you don't have anything, because then you wouldn't. That's the only reason why you're relying on personal attacks. But it is what it is.
Yeah, we should move on.
Yeah, we're about to move on right now. Let's move on to Serious Sam.